get my own PA system. The reality, when you look at communities, for the very reason most of us moved to Tennessee or moved to Knoxville, is for a way of life. We talk about infrastructure. We talk about bringing corporate money in, federal money in. Where do we draw the fine line between too much business and losing the city's identity? Where do we find that? How do we find that? Throwing money at an issue doesn't always solve the issue. As you said, develop a plan. If you take this beautiful college, what was a beautiful college at one time, you tear the crap out of it. You put in high density housing, you put in strip malls, you put in whatever else is going to generate the city tax revenue. And you screw the very, very people that came here to basically for a livestock. In the last 2 years, how many people have moved into the Knoxville area? Traffic has become horrendous. Crime is going up. So where do all of you fall into this line of what is the happy medium? Where do we find that fine line? And how do we develop it and then keep it?
Who would like to take that on?
I can handle the crime issue. I mean, excuse me, but you hear a lot of political talk up here.
Yes.
I hate to say that, but they drew first blood. The difference, is I do listen to people. I mean, I knock on doors today. I knock on hundreds of doors. This is a fight. It's not a playground. I listen to people every day. I'm involved in law enforcement. I don't care to talk to a police from Louisiana. I have a Master of Arts degree in sociology with an emphasis in criminology from the University of Tennessee. So I'm the best educated up here. There are some good candidates, but I also have a doctor of jurisprudence. So I've sat down and studied the literature and looked at things, looked over things, and looked at both sides. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not a slick-tongued politician. And as far as the crime rate, we need to empower police officers to do their jobs. Right now, the chief from Louisiana changed the rules to where if an officer committed an offense, now Knoxville police were telling us, used to if they committed an offense like wrecking a car, then they got like 2 days off. And officers make mistakes. I mean, we're only human. They're so quick to fire them. If they do egregious stuff, sure. But he changed the rules where he can fire them over anything. So if you're in the chief's office licking his boots, no matter what you do, you get your job. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm not a politician. I'll just tell you the truth. I know the way it doesn't work. It works for them. It doesn't work for us. If you want a slick-tongued politician, get somebody that's already in office now, or that is run before for the city. But the way to stop the chief from firing people and let him do a good job.
Anybody else?
Last month's survey from Pods Corporation, where you get the storage unit in your driveway and then they haul it off where you're moving. Knoxville is the 8th most dropped off destination in the United States. There's a mass migration of a historic nature happening right now. And these are market forces. In many cases, these are people moving from places where they're earning their life, their money was taken for granted, and they're moving to a place where it's a little less taken for granted. But I think it's a market arrangement that we have to understand. You can't say you can't sell property, you can't develop. That's just not going to happen. So I think the key thing, and frankly, I hear this for what I don't hear with the discussion about housing. I don't think there's any true recognition of what's going on, and that there's an urgency of now with how we help people focus on housing, how they pool familial resources so that we have multi-generational occupancy of the house, because it's happening right now. And if we postpone it with lots of extraneous discussions about this, that, and the other, people are just going to have a city they don't recognize and they can't afford to live in.
One more.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right, sir. We do not need any more big developers coming in here building apartment complexes, hotels, That's not what we need. We need investors coming in that are gonna give our city an identity and improve upon what the citizens want, not what our mayor wants, not what these big developers want. That comes back to the citizens, it's their decision. But we don't have that say right now with our city leadership. That was a great question, thank you.
I believe that, with the community, see, I've been living here my whole life. Like I said, born and raised from Austin Homes to Walter P. And I can see the community changing. You know, right now, we build communities within the community. Down there, with the ball field, you have a ballpark down there with luxury apartments and hotels and things like that, but a block up, you got people in survival mode. In survival mode. When people, I don't know if y'all know about survival mode, but people is struggling. They people. People is struggling. We have folks that come in to the district and things like that, benefit, that don't live over there, but you have people that lives over there their whole life. People probably can't afford to been living there their whole life, probably can't afford to live there now. You know, the housing market going up. You got businesses, you know, coming in east and out. So people that don't live over there, you know, coming into the 6th district, you know, property, but you still got folks that spend there their whole lives and barely can make it. And you know why they did? Because we have folks that get in positions that supposed to be fighting for us will sell us out. You know, people that can be brought. You gotta, in order for you to know the problem, you got to be out there in the community and find out what's going on. I see it all the time. You know how folks coming over there, you know, building, like it says, okay, but taking the identity away from, you know, the district. So we as a people, we have to fight, you know, to stand for what's right.
Thank you. Can I just say something really quick?
Very, very quickly. Come on, let's get.
I just want to mention, and one of the things that for South Knoxville is, you know, we're talking about businesses coming in, and we're talking about, you know, building community. When I was out and knocking doors and talking with people, you know, that's the thing, and I asked them, you know, hey, what do you want to see? Well, they want to see businesses coming into South Knoxville. As of right now, there have been 3 restaurants that have gone out of business. And the one that kills me the most is Burger Boys. An African-American man came from up north, come to Knoxville to open up his restaurant, phenomenal food. And now it has been closed down and already the building's gone because of Kern's building needing that small business owner for a parking lot. So when you've got small mom and pop places that are being knocked out, that's an issue. That is an issue, and that's one of the things I want to bring to the table.